All right, well, yes, welcome everyone. We're delighted to have you all here, so thanks for coming. We've got a full agenda, so we'll get rolling. A roll call, please.
President Everard.
Here.
Vice President Wazorek is absent. Secretary Zeller. Here. Treasurer Zimmerman.
Present via teleconference.
Trustee Brady. Here. Trustee Leahy.
Yes.
And Trustee Zurich.
Here.
Yes.
All right, great. We have a quorum, so we'll continue. We have consideration for a motion to allow Treasurer Zimmerman to attend remotely through electronic participation as per Administrative Policy 2.0402. The basis for missing the meeting is work related.
I'll move to allow remote participation.
Thank you, Heather. A second.
Second.
Mike, thank you.
Secretary Zeller.
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Trustee Zurich.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
President Everard.
Yes. All right, Sean, hope things are going well. We know work sent you away, so hope your trip is going well.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just trying to stay muted for now, but so just give me a second when I need to speak. I'll unmute and
All right, sounds good.
participate. Thank you.
All right, so let's start with our conservation ethic.
To foster a conservation ethic among McHenry County citizens, helping all of us, regardless of the basis for our interest in nature, to develop a greater awareness of our role in and responsibility for the total community of life. Conservation ethic asks us to assume a moral duty to become educated about conservation issues and then act on that information. Conservation ethic is an attitude that recognizes the importance of preserving the natural heritage of the county's open space. Goal number 3, to manage its areas in such a manner that archaeological and historical resources are integrated with natural resources for optimal preservation, education, and recreation benefits.
Thank you. Treasurer Zimmerman.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
We pledge to make a difference by standing up for our water, wildlife, and way of life in McHenry County. Our quality of life in McHenry County depends on healthy and sustainable natural resources, thoroughly developed cities and towns, a strong economy, and beautiful outdoor places to explore, discover, and recreate. Number 10, we will help build a sustainable, vibrant local economy by providing a destination for outdoor recreation experiences.
Thank you. Heather, what's going on?
Land acknowledgement statement to many indigenous groups and tribal nations, including the Ho-Chunk, Kickapoo, Lakota, Dakota, Mascoutin, Miami, Peoria, Potawatomi, Sauk, and Meskwaki. McHenry County is part of their traditional homeland. We invite you to join us in offering respect to the indigenous peoples living here today and their ancestors' stewardship of the land. Together, we celebrate these special places, seek to learn and honor the history of those who came before us, and strive to forge meaningful relationships with indigenous communities to deepen our collective connection to the land.
Thank you. Next, adopt the agenda. And I know, Heather, on Thursday, you had asked one item to be held out.
Yes. Item 13.6, the Prairie Trail Wayfinding Plan.
Okay.
Just wanted to hear more about how donor signage will be added to that plan.
Okay, so when we get to the resolutions, we'll stop at that point and we'll discuss that particular resolution. Would that be all right? Okay. Everyone okay with that? The agenda good to go?
Need a motion.
Move to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second by Bonnie.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman.
Yes.
Trustee Zurich.
Yes.
Secretary Zeller.
Yes.
Trustee Leahy.
Yes.
And President Everard.
Yes. All right, the agenda is adopted. All right, now we get on to the fun part here, our special recognition and presentations. I'd like to let everyone know there are refreshments downstairs. There's some outstanding cookies, I'm told. And please feel free after the presentations to mingle down there, enjoy yourself and for the refreshment. Again, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin with the Champion Award recipients. And I'll give you a little bit of background about that particular award. McHenry County Conservation District honors individuals who are and have been conservation champions for the public open space of McHenry County. Conservation Champion Award recognizes exceptional contributions of individuals who've made extraordinary impacts on the conservation movement through their continued dedication and support of the mission of the Conservation District. The Conservation Champion Award recognizes individuals who made one or more contributions of extraordinary significance or impact to the conservation movement through their continued dedication and support of the mission of the Conservation District. Significant contributions can include leadership, innovation, environmental legislation, community building, restoration fieldwork, citizen science, and volunteering donations of money and land. And the first recipient I would like to acknowledge is Durs Anderson.
Do we need to pass the resolution?
Well, at the end, we'll do it. I'll read it then.
You're gonna do both of them?
Yeah, and then it says at the
You
end.
just wanna present, well, I would go ahead and pass the
Okay,
resolution,
all
motion
right.
second for both, and then you can read in that way.
All right.
It's all passed when they get it.
All right, so is there a recommendation, or is there a motion to approve resolution 2618, adopting the recognition of Durs Anderson and Nancy Williamson as the district conservation champions for 2026?
So.
Moved by Bonnie,
Second.
seconded by Heather. We'll call.
Trustee Zurich,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
secretary Zeller.
Yes.
Trustee Leahy,
Yes.
and president Everard.
Yes, enthusiastically. All right. Durs Anderson. For nearly 2 decades, Durs has been an unwavering steward of Boulder Bog Conservation Area, officially volunteering since 2008, but contributing far beyond his 60 to 80 annual service hours. His deep botanical expertise has significantly advanced scientific understanding of the site from monitoring rare plants with plant ecologist Lori Ryan to identifying previously unrecorded species. He works side by side with the Conservation District ecologist and the Illinois Nature Preserve Commission staff, tackling everything from brush removal and chemical treatments to long-term ecological monitoring. Yet his influences reach well beyond fieldwork. Durs has become a mentor, an educator, and an inspiration to an entire community of conservationists. Volunteers consistently describe him as a natural teacher. As Steve Yost shared, Durs is such a natural presenter, always full of knowledge about the history of Boulder Bog and its natural resources. His patient leadership has shaped the next generation, inspiring young volunteers like Yost's daughter, Shyla, to pursue careers in environmental science. Restoration ecologist Elise Linnaeus notes, "I learn something new from Durs every time we take a walk." His peers echoed his admiration. Volunteer steward Brandy Dunn calls him the total embodiment of a conservation champion. While volunteer coordinator steward Casey Benson praises his commitment, sharing that Durs will still lug a chainsaw deep into the brush, whether it's winter, cold, or summer heat. Through humility, knowledge, and tireless dedication, Durs has illuminated a path for others, fostering a renewed appreciation for McHenry County's natural heritage and inspiring countless of individuals to join in its protection. Very good. So with that, I would like to present Durs. Thank you for on with the dedication.
Well, it's easy to do.
No, it wasn't.
Thank you.
Let's go to Bob. Check speed.
It's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right, this next one, Nancy Williamson. I'm saying a little extra because I know Nancy. I'm going to plug in a little story in here. But for decades, Nancy Williamson has been one of McHenry County's most steadfast advocates for land preservation, community engagement, and long-term conservation funding. Her commitment extends far beyond traditional volunteer roles. Nancy has consistently stepped forward whenever her leadership could make the greatest impact. In 2024, Nancy took on the role of treasurer for the Vote Yes for McHenry County Conservation District Committee, where she and her committee members worked tirelessly to promote and pass the proposition to increase the limiting rate, protect water, preserve wildlife habitat, and increase outdoor recreation access for all. I just want to pause there. When I was new on the board and we were talking about getting a committee together, we were at some event up at Glacial Park and I said, you know, that lady she seems like she gets involved in a lot of stuff. I went over and introduced myself and I said, Nancy, do you think you might be able to help out on this? Oh, sure. So that worked out all right, didn't it? Nancy's team dedicated countless hours to fundraising, conducting outreach to voters, and working to bring awareness through both traditional and digital media campaigns. These efforts contributed greatly to the successful passage of the proposition, securing a much-needed continuous funding source for local conservation. Nancy's efforts have had an extraordinary financial impact. Serving on 2 referendum committees over the years, she's helped to secure an astounding $141 million in conservation funding for the county. She and her team also worked with Senator Underwood to obtain additional federal support for restoration efforts adjacent to Glacial Park. Her conservation service is broad and enduring. Nancy served 19 years with the Illinois Department of Natural Resources as the Regional Watershed Coordinator and served on various regional groups and committees, including the Illinois Wildlife Action Plan, Ecosystem Partnerships in Northern Illinois, the Chicago Wilderness Alliance, and Natural Land Institute. She served 5 years as a Conservation District Board member and then dedicated another 15 years to the Conservation Foundation Board of Directors. She was instrumental in helping to establish Hackensack National Wildlife Refuge and currently serves as board treasurer for Friends of Hackensack National Wildlife Refuge. Nancy's unwavering dedication, strategic leadership, and ability to bring people together have shaped some of the most significant conservation achievements in the county's history, leaving a lasting legacy that will benefit natural lands and residents for generations. So Nancy, if you would please come up, I am happy. You were so modest, but sure I'll help.
And then I sneak in here real quick.
I brought my own, but took your time. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And now the Conservation Legacy Award recipients. Background on it. The McHenry County Conservation District honors individuals who are and have been conservation champions for the public open space of McHenry County. The Conservation Legacy recognizes exceptional contributions of individuals who've made extraordinary impacts on the conservation movement through their continued dedication and support of the mission of the district. The Conservation Legacy Award is intended to recognize contributions that transcend time. Whether the award winner dedicated 10 or 50 years towards the local environment, their work should live well past their earthly lifetime. Their legacy should be a gift to the community as well as the plant life and wildlife within it. Regardless of how many lives they touched, Conservation Legacy Award winners need to have inspired others to become stewards of the land. Their conservation ethics should be passed on for generations to come. And the first award recipient.
Red.
Oh, we got, oh, that's right. I thought we did them both open sign. Thank you for keeping me honest here. I will entertain a motion for resolution 2619, posthumously honoring Dr. Wayne Shenneman and Stephen Weller with the 2026 Conservation Legacy Award.
So.
Bonnie,
Second.
second by Nora.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Secretary Zeller,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
trustee Leahy,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
and president Everard.
Yes. Okay. Dr. Wayne Shenneman. For more than 4 decades, Dr. Wayne was one of Illinois' most respected, influential, and quietly transformative ecologists. A scientist, teacher, mentor, and lifelong naturalist. Wayne dedicated his career to understanding and protecting Midwestern landscapes. From Iowa's prairies and fens to the oak ecosystem and wetlands of Northern Illinois. His colleagues consistently described him as rigorous, humble, passionate, and unyieldingly devoted to the natural world. As Brett Seymour noted, few individuals have contributed so consistently, so humbly, and so effectively to the protection and understanding of Midwest ecosystems. Wayne's impact began early, rooted in childhood explorations of then rural Arlington Heights and a lifelong fascination with butterflies. After earning his PhD in 1975, he helped shape conservation science through roles with the Nature Conservancy, the Iowa Conservation Commission, and nearly 2 decades with the McHenry County Conservation District. His meticulous inventories, ecological assessments, and restoration guidance formed the scientific foundation through which thousands of acres were protected. Restoration ecology manager John Peters reflected, Wayne's efforts to inventory the region's biota are the benchmark, the foundation of understanding of the region's ecological significance. Yet Wayne's legacy extends beyond data. He was a gifted teacher and mentor, inspiring students, interns, volunteers, and early career ecologists across generations. His colleagues remember him as patient, generous, and driven by curiosity, someone who always erred on the side of nature. As Ed Collins, former director of land preservation and natural resources from McHenry County Conservation District, recalled. Even in retirement, Wayne continued surveying, teaching, and exploring, driven by an insatiable appetite for studying natural areas. Dr. Wayne Shenneman leaves behind a legacy of scientific record, mentorship, and deep devotion to the land, an enduring gift to the region he spent a lifetime understanding and protecting. Is anyone from Wayne's family here?
Oh, I did not see. Is anyone here from Dr. Shannon? Yes.
Presenting to you. So thank you so much. We get a picture?
Finally.
Thank you.
Elizabeth? One minute.
What an honor. Thank you. Thanks for sitting for him. So, thank you.
All right, last but not least, Steve Weller devoted his life to the protection, restoration, and celebration of the natural world, leaving a legacy that reshaped conservation in McHenry County and beyond. From his childhood exploring the Wabash River Valley, Steve carried forward a passion for ecology that guided his 47-year career in environmental education, planning, restoration, conservation leadership. Steve's career included roles as a naturalist, educator, planner, and ultimately he became the executive director of the McHenry County Conservation District, where his vision led to extraordinary change and accomplishments. During his tenure at the Conservation District beginning in 1987, as Planning and Development Manager, he implemented projects at 23 different district sites. He also developed a site inventory analysis master plan process and assisted in acquiring and preserving 3,000 acres of land. As executive director, he oversaw the acquisition of an additional 6,000 acres, administered $13.25 million in bond sales, secured over $5 million in grants, managed the restoration of thousands of acres of prairie, savanna, and wetland, and initiated wetland mitigation projects that continue to benefit the region. One of his most endearing achievements was leading the acquisition of 40 miles of rail corridors and developing a 60-mile regional trail system, including key segments of the Prairie Trail and the Hebron Trail. In addition, he administered the dedication of 10 sites as Illinois State Nature Preserves. Steve's commitment extended to the district staff as much to the land. His leadership in bringing the Conservation District into the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund ensured long-term stability for staff. This act has encouraged the longevity of careers at the Conservation District and has had a lasting impact by ensuring the district can provide the benefits needed to recruit top talent and retain a dedicated workforce. Following his years of public service, Steve established his firm, Ecologic Planning, which restored over 1,000 acres of wetlands, continuing his positive environmental impacts in his later years. After his passing, his wife Kathy honored his memory by selling his cherished duck decoy collection, raising $147,500 for environmental education in South Central Indiana, near where Steve grew up, and the land that fostered his passion for conservation. Steve Weller was a visionary whose work permanently elevated conservation in McHenry County and the trajectory of the Conservation District. His legacy, which is visible in the contributions and commitment to the land, the residents of the county, and to the district staff, will endure for generations. Wow. Pictures of that decoy collection, I'd like to see.
They're all gone now.
Well, congratulations to the honorees. Again, you're all welcome. You're certainly welcome to stay for the meeting if you'd like. On the other hand, if you'd like to enjoy some refreshments, please feel free to do so.
We don't like it. Yeah. Now the winners are coming all together, and all the.
Well, back now, it's
Something out, I think, yeah, I'm starting to. I don't know that I have your email address here. Sure.
Oh, yeah, the slide. Yeah,
I know, slide deck.
Yeah, the slide deck.
That's what they told me I need. Yes. This thing. Okay, then gonna try it. Okay.
Put everybody together, good.
I heard you.
We want to get your picture down there with everybody else there, so they can follow our. Yeah, oh, I have to go back to that, it's been a little while. Yeah. I do. Yeah, no, that was quite some time, so for that honor, they had to have been deceased for at least 5 years. To be recognized of the sort. But I love, she's like, happy with that, so I'm sure when you know each other, probably, yeah, we work together, so. All that, she's, yeah, me too, so.
Hey, Caitlin, if we have to stop, if you say, I can, fine. I can run out. Jason, no.
Good try, welcome.
She does pay. Caitlin, you are welcome to stay. Don't have any stress about it. She's gonna try, but I'm
We're gonna send them all their photos and stuff.
Thank you. Thank you for all your help.
Photos, blurb and all that.
Caitlin, if you go through the right episode, stand.
Thank you. There's a lot to write about.
They were.
Yeah, you got good material to work with.
Really good material, yeah. Just so cute.
That was very. Okay, we ready to? Got our folks coming in?
I think we have a few more stories.
Oh, yeah.
So just a few minutes.
You're gonna, wait.
Whenever Maddie's done taking her pictures. We're gonna be in a sec. That's fine. We're gonna live. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Is that what you're saying, John? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Helping somebody out.
Thank you. I heard you but didn't hear you. I don't know
Sorry
why.
about that, I was helping somebody with the elevator, am I up?
That's okay.
We're stalling.
Oh, okay, I'm stalling for.
Don't be sure.
My statement was pushing me to jump back like that.
It's Ollie, but good to have so many people
Thank you
here.
for
It's one of those things that's, it's such a wonderful, and I just have to credit the, we have a staffing team that reviews the applications, and this program's been going on, gosh. How many have we gone? I have to go back and take a look at how many years ago we started on the website, but I want to say at least 3, 5, maybe
I think
years.
it's 5 years. I was gonna say 5 years.
And there's not always, the conservation champion, the legacy, of course, is not something that comes up frequently, but we've been trying to really promote, and we've had increased interest. We've been pushing that for individuals to nominate others for these honors. It can come from the outside, it can come from our volunteers, it can come from board, it can come from staff. But then we review everything, we go through a metric process to assess, and then we make that determination and then their recommendation. So a big shout out to our review team, of our staffing team that goes through that.
Yeah, well, they were certainly really honoring.
Easy comments, right? Very inspiring.
And then back, all right, we can go.
All right,
Thank you. I've been really. Thank you so much.
pressing on. New team member introductions.
All right, Ben, you're up.
Now you're up.
One first. So yes, thanks for having me again this month. I think a couple months ago I said, hopefully that was the last time you were gonna see me for a while, but, we did have one team member leave and, have a new person introduced, so I'll bring up Caden Bronson. Caden is, keep come on here. Caden is, our new Ranger 1 in Region 3 down in the, southwest quadrant of the county. Caden comes to us from the, Amazon distribution center in Huntley. He was working there full time. He has worked for us the past 2 summers down in Region 3 with JSC course, so he's very familiar with the region and with everything that goes on down there. One thing that attracted us to Caden was he demonstrated a really strong work ethic. In fact, when it came time for his seasonal work with us, he would pare back his hours at Amazon, come work with us during the day, and then immediately go right back to Amazon and put a shift in there. So that was something that struck with me right from the get-go. And then again, in his interview, going through the interview process with Caden, something that really hit home with me too was he mentioned how important and what pride he took when he came to work every day, even as a seasonal, and how it was important for him to see what he was able to do throughout the day to make things better in the parks, to improve things. And that was something that he really was striving for, and something that he was appreciative of, to be able to go home and feel like he did something worthwhile that day. So again, that was something that hit home with me during the interview process. So we're very happy to have Caden here.
Amazon's a tough place to work, so the
Yeah.
fact that you can come doing it, that's, kudos to you.
It's nice to be outside now and have a breath of fresh air and feeling super. Yeah.
Oh,
So, young man, so hopefully he'll have a long career here with us, so.
Wait, Kaden.
get a picture with Ben and you.
Oh, we got the pictures?
That's what I was.
Take a picture, sorry.
Smile. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, Abby Winters.
So hi, everybody. I have the pleasure of introducing another new team member to the district, Abby Winters, who is our new Education Coordinator 1. Her office is in Lots Valley. Although new to this role, she also is not a stranger to the district and was a previous seasonal with education and assisted us with summer camps, with public programs, with school programs, and then events like Festival of Sugar Maples and Great Outdoor Beer Trail. When she wasn't at the district doing all that during outside of her seasonal stint, she was engaging with lots and lots of school groups, many members of the public, representing organizations like the National Park Service, Round Lake Park District, IDNR, and then the McHenry County School Environmental Education Program, also known as MCCD, if you're familiar with that. So lots of experience with lots of different organizations, like-minded organizations. She brings with her a host of amazing interpretation skills, as well as a lot of familiarity with education, environmental education best practices. So with that background and experience, I'm sure you can tell why we're really excited to have Abby on our team. So with that, please welcome Abby Winters.
We'll get a picture of that.
Picture.
I have pictures.
We need lots of pictures.
Sorry.
Thank you.
And then recognition of Maddie Neubauer.
All right, well, one of the things, we'll do both here, we'll both keep here, so we're really excited, as the board knows. Investing in professional development for our staff is vitally important, and it is exciting to see when individuals like Maddie have decided to pursue that career path and take that extra effort to receive certification. That requires studying and then taking a test, and they have to have served in a variety of time to be able to do that. Once they pass, once they're certified, then they have to maintain those credits, the certification, continuing education units every 2 years to make sure that level of high professionalism is maintained. So I just want to congratulate Maddie. She jumped right in, saw the opportunity. I know Caitlin, she's got a good mentor as well. So Acorn doesn't fall too far from the tree on the team here. So I love to see that. But congratulations, Maddie.
It's a national certification, so NRPA, national certification by Park and Rec professional.
The support too.
Congratulations.
Need a picture of
Good thing no one's
Oh,
done
you got one
it.
picture later. Oh, thank you. That's Is it easier because of that?
It is.
No, I like that better. You want to do it this way? Because that's how y'all doing that. There you go.
Bye, Renee.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
All right. Trustees report. Would have anything to?
I always have to say
Bonnie?
something, don't I?
Sure.
This has been quite a week for children and kids being inspired by the Conservation District. Today was about 15 4-H children who just truly embraced working for the volunteering for the district. And then I had a 17-year-old on Saturday, and he was inspired now he has to earn 20 hours each year for his National Honor Society, and he wants the next 20 hours to all go to the district, so.
Nice.
Thank you, Bonnie. Well,
I have a few things from the foundation. I attended the McHenry County Conservation Foundation board meeting last week. We got to hear from Brandy Dunn, who is the Boone Creek site steward. She's been in that role for 5 years, and she shared a bit with the group about her work as the Conservation District's first bee monitor. She's a master naturalist, photographer, advocate. She's now doing research on fireflies and helping through monitoring and community science to fill some data gaps. And it was just fascinating. She was really inspiring. I didn't realize how little I knew about bees until some of her factoids, which have really stuck with me. So she was a good teacher as well. So that was really nice. A reminder, the Bigfoot Woods tour is taking place this Saturday. Looks like there's good weather forecast for that. And there were 8 guests registered for that last I had heard. So that's a nice group.
We're up to 13.
Nice. Excellent. Donna said they're up to 13.
because you had asked on Thursday.
Yeah, that'll, we can get extra people.
Extra people, we have room, yeah, we do, so.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. Just one last thing to mention. I'm sorry, 2 more things. At the foundation board meeting, they're also focusing on the budget, and just a reminder that their budget runs July 1st through June 30th. So it's a little different from ours. And then with the donor journey experiences, Shauna and Caitlin are working on rolling out some more opportunities for that, to launch that in May. So lots of exciting things with the foundation.
Good, thank you. What else? Shauna, as a guest, is there anything you'd like to say?
I think Heather covered a lot of it. I also just to give credit to Brandy, she came to our board meeting. She was actually here tonight. She was quoted in Durs's little write-up. She's extremely supportive. She also is one of our donors for the pollinator match that we ran last year. We're going to run it again this year. And then she's committed to a 3rd year of that project as well. So I think that it's just a real testament to our strongest supporters aren't just monetary supporters. There are volunteers, there are advocates, they are everything to the district. So, and I am also, Bonnie's going to join us on our Bigfoot Woods hike as well. So I want to thank you guys for kind of stepping up and supporting the foundation in ways that you were able to.
And, we think it's great too that you're sending someone from the foundation to our meeting. So appreciate that. And we'll make sure that you always get an opportunity to address the board and welcome your input. All right. Anything else? Oh, anything from the.
I've got a couple things, a couple big projects that we completed or have been completed. One would be the animal control building, Chris Lake. That was a complete renovation. We've been working on it for nearly 6 to 8 months. So it was a big project that we just completed. Also the coroner's office. And that was another 6-month project that just got completed. So we got 2 grand reopenings, if you will. Then I just do a shout out to kind of awesome how McHenry County actually comes together. They put sandbagging for the folks that are lowered in the dam, especially. They've been working tirelessly for the volunteers, so elected officials, anybody, little kids to old adults were, everyone was working really hard for the past 2 weeks to try and help those folks down south of the dam, so. Well, I think it's about ready to crest right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so thoughts, prayers are done down there. That's what I got.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
My report, two things. One is, for the May meeting, I'm gonna be on vacation. So I'm gonna try to will attend remotely and you guys will pass the motion to allow that. I will be on vacation, going up Memorial Day weekend and staying. And then that Wednesday, Molly's gone. Oh, that Wednesday is my annual muskie fishing, and she goes to Manitowoc Waters every year. And that's where I do my muskie fishing. It's a club for 25 guys. So, but Tuesday is a day off, but I'll still be up north, so I'll call in for that meeting and try and catch the big one later on that week. The other thing is on a more serious note. There's some rumors or rumblings and all kinds of stuff on Facebook about the park district. I just would kind of, I don't know if it's true or not, but what I heard was they published a 164-page agenda, and on page 162 was a motion to spend 4.2 million on buying the remember that sports club that's been idle. There's a building that's been idle for a number of years. It used to be
Crystal.
Is this
Crystal?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I can't think, I'm trying to drawing a blank on the name of it. Anyway, the people found out about it and they're up in arms because they thought that people were trying to slip this through. And I only say that because we go through extreme pains to make sure that we follow the Open Meetings Act and try and do everything above board and transparency. And, I think sometimes it looks like, well, why do you pay so much attention to that stuff? This is why. And about a year ago, they had like 200 people at their meetings because things were going bad and everything. So I think there's a good way for boards to behave and there's bad ways for boards to behave. We can use those examples to make things better.
The governance is very important. It definitely.
Exactly. Yeah, doesn't seem like much, but, and then they said, I guess they used to have, this is again, all this stuff like whether it's true or not, we'll find out in the days to come. But I guess they usually have 2 public comments. They've only had 1 public comment on their agenda, and it's after the vote on whether or not to buy that building. So anyway, we'll see how it shakes out. That's all I have. All right, then moving on to the consent agenda.
Public comment. Anybody?
Public comment, yeah. Save that for the end. Sorry about that. Are there any public comments? Anyone in the room?
I'm not seeing any raised hands online.
Okay, thanks, Amelia. Yeah, man, I have my notes right on top of it. All right, approval of minutes of previous meeting.
Okay.
Oh, we do all these at once except for the one.
Well, you're gonna do, you would ask the proper procedure is, does anybody want to pull anything off the consent agenda? So Heather's request is 13.6.
Okay.
And then if anybody else wants anything pulled off the consent agenda, hearing none, then you could have then she needs to read through it all
right.
of everything.
Even 13.6?
No, you'll skip that one, you'll skip that
And then
one.
we'll come back to 13.6.
Got it. Okay.
All right, Nora, you're on.
All right, 13.0 board business consent agenda. 13.1 approval of minutes of previous meetings. 13.1A February 19th, 2026 committee of the whole executive session. And 13.1B March 19th, 2026 regular meeting. 13.2 treasurer's report. 13.2A received treasurer's report for the period ending March 31, 2026 as presented. 13.2B received investment report for Q4 fiscal year 2026 as presented. 13.3 resolution number 26-20 adopting the fiscal year 2027 legislative program as presented. 13.4 ordinance number 26-1071 authorizing the transfer of funds between budget line items in the general fund of the fiscal year 2027 budget for a total amount of $45,000. 13.5 ordinance number 26-1072 adopting the administrative directives for recreational hunting on McHenry County Conservation District lands
for the 2026 to 27 Illinois hunting seasons as presented. 13.7, resolution number 26-22, ratifying the participation in Henry County Conservation Foundation's grant application to the Old Wire Foundation to support a stewardship outreach seasonal. 13.8, resolution number 26-23, ratifying participation in Henry County Conservation Foundation's grant application to TC Energy for purchasing native seed and equipment for acorn collection and storage. 13.9, resolution number 26-24, authorizing participation in Henry County Conservation Foundation's grant application to Enbridge for purchasing native seed and equipment for acorn collection and storage. 13.10, resolution number 26-25, ratifying participation in Henry County Conservation Foundation's grant application to Advocate Health for purchasing native trees, shrubs, and herbaceous understory plant plugs for the enhancement and restoration of woodlands and savannas across multiple conservation district sites. 13.11, resolution number 26-26, authorizing participation in Henry County Conservation Foundation's grant application to Union Pacific for purchasing native seed. 13.2, resolution number 26-27, ratifying participation in Henry County Conservation Foundation in the ComEd Powering Safe Communities grant opportunity. 13.3, resolution number 26-28, approving the Ranger Advancement Program as presented. 13.14, resolution number 26-29, authorizing Director of Marketing and Education Caitlin Martinez McWhorter's application to Leadership Grader McHenry County Class of 2026 for a total cost not to exceed $4,150. 13.15, resolution number 26-31, ratifying participation in the McHenry County Conservation Foundation's grant application to the Community Foundation for future land preservation purposes. 13.16, resolution number 26-32, acknowledging termination of the district and NRB Land Development Group LLC agreement dated September 17th, 2009 and amended May 20th, 2010 to provide permittee responsible wetland mitigation for unavoidable impacts to isolated waters of McHenry County associated with the Thatcher Meadows subdivision as memorialized in resolutions number 09-30 and 10-18. 13.17, resolution number 26-30, authorizing payment of $37,600 to the Intergovernmental Personnel Benefit Cooperative, IPBC, for the purpose of funding the district's deficit benefit fund balance with IPBC.
All right, so Nora has made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Bonnie.
Treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
Secretary Zeller,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Leahy,
Yes.
Trustee Zer,
Yes.
President Everard.
Yes. All right. Motion's passed. Now we'll go back to the open item.
So 13 point, we need a motion and a second on that. I didn't want to read it.
Okay. All right. 13.6, resolution number 26-21, authorizing the executive director's execution of change order number 1, the amount of $18,875, Guide Studio Inc. of Cleveland, Ohio, for the Prairie Trail Wayfinding Plan for the development of a donor signage system for the Prairie Trail Wayfinding.
Go ahead. You're-
A second.
Any question?
We need a second
Need a
first.
second.
Second. Now we can have discussion.
Now, discussion on the motion.
Thank you. I was just curious to hear a little bit more about how this idea came to be and just how it will be executed and maintained over time. What it will look like. I feel like we heard a lot about the Prairie Trail signage. And I apologize if I totally missed the donor aspect of it, but I was just curious to hear more. No concerns, just curiosity.
So I'll let Amy go first if you're comfortable with that, and she's the project manager and.
Yeah, I think, the idea about it is that the wayfinding plan did not scope this, because it's not typical. But the conversations that we were having and, about how we were going to implement this plan, right? At the end of this, we're gonna have a plan. But we are still gonna have to figure out how to fund the implementation of these signs. And so I think at that point, it was where people were wondering, okay, how are we gonna do that? So that is where we started having these questions and we thought, okay, we could do it either in-house or better yet, we have a team that we have, hired. And we asked the grant administrator if, again, atypical to have donor signage program within wayfinding and under the umbrella of this grant funding source, would you be open for it? And so it was just a great opportunity to say, okay, they said yes. We have this opportunity, have a great design team. We have a great internal team. Now is the time to let's take this up a notch and address it. So that way then, if we do come out of this and this is where Shauna can talk more about the idea of now it's a long-term, it's a long run. We have a better idea of what we're going to do. And so it's more of a, I don't want to use the word campaign, but that way this group will have, something that fits within what we've already decided and worked into, and it'll flow nicely, with whatever donations and multiple levels. So again, we've been dealing with, small amounts. We're thinking large scale. So that requires a different set of skills and maybe a bigger sign and, just a lot more things to think about. And making sure that we do give that the time, and effort to do that. So again, huge opportunity, to have this, give Shauna a platform to then take it and move it forward. I talk a lot. Is that okay?
No, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a sponsorship program? So like, let's just say ABC company says, I'll give you $1 million, but you're gonna put their name below the McHenry sign?
Not exactly a sponsorship program. This would be, so the impetus, as Amy had said, was the idea that there's an opportunity to fundraise to put in all of this signage along the Prairie Trail. And we don't have a price tag yet. There's no fundraising campaign plan yet, but acknowledging that we're in the midst of this planning process for signage, the inclusion of some sort of donor recognition signage in the event that foundation is fundraising to put in all of this signage would then give us the opportunity to, similar to sponsorship, or a designated spot where anybody who contributed to this project would be recognized. And the other thought is that as we're building out this plan, are there other opportunities? This is a discussion that we have to have internally, but are there other opportunities where larger scale projects need to take place along the Prairie Trail that donors could potentially support? And if those exist, then are there opportunities to put in signage to acknowledge supporters of those projects beyond the bench donation plaques and kind of those under $5,000 gifts? Like, these are donors who ideally would be making major gifts and get recognized for that long-term support of the longest trail in our county.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Thank
And
you.
so, while it's not what we have typically ever done, Guide is very well versed in it. It's just marrying then, they're doing the wayfinding and there is this opportunity to, onboard donor. So I think it's again, it's a great opportunity. And we funded this grant program.
And there's such a range from, buy a brick to,
Yeah.
with, brought to you by or with thanks to so-and-so for this contribution. Yeah, great.
That's great, thank you.
All right, call the question?
So now are we going to approve?
Yeah, that we're
Yeah.
gonna vote, yeah. I'm gonna take a roll call.
Yes, Treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes, sorry about that.
Trustee Zurich,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Leahy. Yes. Secretary Zeller.
Yes.
And President Everard.
Yes. All right, resolution passed. The board business, treasurer's internal audit.
Yes, hello. Gosh, I wish I could have been there for those recognitions. That's so wonderful. I just want to thank all those volunteers for the hours and time, and that was amazing. That's not the audit report, but I just had to say that because I didn't get to say it earlier. So thank you. So 14.1A Treasury Internal Audit for month ending February. You can see that in your audit package for this past month ending March 31st. I pulled a few items the other day. First one, invoice D 5984 Dell Marketing. It was for a large screen laptop. It just stood out from some of the other laptops. Number two is H0585 for Heman Water Conditioning Incorporated. I just noticed that was for a soft water softener rental. I just had questioned why we're renting and not purchasing the equipment. The third one was Ultra Strobe Communications invoice U6506 in the amount of $9,016.05. And that's just for being a high ticket item. So we'll see that in our next month's board report, the response.
Thank you, Tom.
14.1B, I'd like to make a motion to approve the payment of bills as indicated on the submission of bills pending report for the month ending March 31st, 2026. I just need a second.
Moved by Sean,
I'll second.
second by Heather.
Trustee Zurich,
Yes.
Treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Secretary Zeller.
Yes.
Trustee Leahy,
Yes.
President Everard.
Yes. All right, Elizabeth, you want to talk about the 4-star and DR Horton?
Well, we did discuss on last Thursday that everything is in order. This proposal is ready to come forward this month. Our attorney, Andrew Payne, again, credit to him and to Gabe Powers, our Director of Land Preservation and Natural Resources, did an amazing job of working through all the details, as well as getting to a place where we can sell credits. And then also there's two parts of that. We'll go ahead and sell those to 4-star DR Horton against with the board's approval. And then also with that is to authorize the execution, which has been executed by 4-star DR Horton on the termination and mutual release agreement. So again, that wraps it up and consider.
So no future
No
obligation.
future obligation.
They want to come and get some, they can pay the market rate. We have a new deal.
Correct.
Yep, okay, good. So it's resolution 2633. Is there a motion to approve?
Do you want to read that? Somebody read the resolution.
All right, resolution 2633, accepting a $305,550 payment from 4-star USA Real Estate Group, an affiliate of DR Horton Inc., pursuant to the April 8, 26 request for wetland mitigation credit purchase. May 19, 2010 intergovernmental agreement between the district and the village of Wonder Lake, and as a successor to the agreements with NRB Land Development Group, LLC, memorialized in resolution 09-30 and 10-18 for 8.73 acres of wetland mitigation credit associated with wetland mitigation work initiated in 2010 completed in 2018, and authorizing the executive director or her designee to execute the termination and mutual release agreement.
So moved.
And moved by Bonnie,
Second.
second by Nora.
Treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
trustee Zurich,
Yes.
secretary Zeller.
Yes.
Trustee Brady. Yes. Trustee Leahy.
Yes.
President Everard.
Yes. All right, carries. So executive director's report.
Okay, a few things here. First and foremost, last week we were grateful to have one of our foundation board members, Jim Heisler, in attendance. And obviously what we'll be doing going forward, and I've talked with Jim as well as the foundation and our liaison is, and you had mentioned this as well, but when we have them, they're going to be coming to our meetings once a month. And on the agenda, we will specifically carve out, as we do trustees reports, we'll have a place on the agenda for foundation directors report. We did have a great conversation about how our meetings are structured differently than the foundation's meetings. Obviously, following the Open Meetings Act, but our meetings are very much more formal. Theirs are a little bit more casual, just in how we do business. But I did want to give a shout out to Jim, and as we kind of acknowledge that he was honored by, actually it's on April 23rd, he will be honored by the Crystal Lake Chamber Foundation, the Gem Leadership Award. So he's gem, like a gem,
Diamond gem.
GEM, like a diamond
I
gem
haven't heard of
for the
it.
Crystal Lake, and so he's honored with that. So for his leadership, he's with Heartland Realtor, but we know what he does for the foundation and the district, and we're very thankful to recognize him with that. We had a hike with Mike this past Saturday, and again, I want to give a shout out to our team members and staff that helped organize that. Obviously, we had representatives from a variety of our divisions involved with that, so I don't want to leave out names here. But between Caitlin and Natty and Juan were there for marketing. John was there and Amy were there from our planning team. And then we had Kevin Schweiler from our natural resources team. Did I forget anybody? And Dan Hibbler from our police department was there. And this was the first for this year's series was Trails Less Travel, to get behind and see some areas, particularly that have not had, that we have plans, but maybe no investment yet, funding to be able to make. And again, Chairman Bueller is an amazing advocate for the Conservation District. It was well received. Everybody, again, it's a great job on that. So a big shout out. Next month, for those, and we had full capacity, will be a Pleasant Valley with Bison. So we for that event to be coming your way. The date on that is May 23rd. May 23rd, yes. May 23rd at Pleasant Valley. This month is Earth Month, and so fixing it up a little bit this year. Normally we've had an Earth Day on Saturday where everybody will collaborate with environmental defenders at Prairie View. And so they've had a series of different programs and activities all month long for everyone to get involved with. So again, forward to seeing how all those activities are going, but that continues on. But they are going to be doing in May a kind of a Discover Your District at the Hollows to kind of do a taste sampling of what the Conservation District offers with various departments and divisions. And so you want to mark your calendar for that. You've also approved the legislative agenda, and we'll be going down to Springfield. Last week was the final day for bills to move out of their chamber of origin, and they've now crossed over. There were some critical bills for the Illinois Association of Park Districts that they were monitoring, and they had some successes. One of them was on the Homelessness Act, which was a big part of that, and there was language, a lot of debate going back and forth, and then the language from the Illinois Association of Park Districts did get into the amendment. And basically what they wanted to ensure happening is that we as a local entity would have the right to, have every individual that's on our sites follow the rules that we have here without exception. So therefore, but it didn't get called for the vote. So we'll see, that's still in play, but ultimately the language was there. The other one that was moving forward and a lot of discussion that's now is the e-bike piece. And so that will continue. That'll be, as we move down to Springfield, a lot of discussions will take place on that, because basically there was an amendment. Anything that I had negotiated was erased and not accepted, and basically allowing bikes and bikes to go wherever So
There's some state initiative about that, though, isn't
there is on the
That might
state.
override that.
Yes, that's what yes, there is a bunch of stuff that's going on and it's a contentious piece of legislation. Everybody's kind of in so direction. We'll hear more of that. But the focus for IAPD and where our platform is local. Should be able to navigate that one. And then the other third big one that they were focusing on was recreational programs for licensure. So we don't have preschools, but a lot of park districts all over. Working on any programs for children would have to go through DCFS licensing and a lot of extra layers that seem cost prohibitive and barriers to great services unnecessarily. So they were working on that piece of legislation. And what else did I have? I think that pretty much wraps up. Like I said, Nora's going to Springfield. I am meeting with the McHenry County Historical Society. Lloyd's going to join me to meet executive director and to discuss the way station. So it's also in May, and then I'll see that probably June, July with
All right, very much. Are there any public comment?
I'm not seeing any raised hands online.
All right, thank you. The Health Grid is the name of that facility, that's health thing. All right, with no, since seeing no public comments, we will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion? Sure. Mike, second?
Second.
Heather?
Trustee Leahy, trustee Zurich,
Yes.
treasurer Zimmerman,
Yes.
trustee Brady. Yes. Secretary Zeller. Yes. President Everard.
Yes.
6:11.
Sure.
your return. Thank you.